Dave Corinth here. Welcome to my shop. Have you ever tried to take the handle off a back saw? Man, it can be a pain in the butt. So I make a saw nut driver just for that purpose. And today I'm going to show you how I make it from scratch. So let's get started. So when I say it's a pain in the butt, what I'm referring to are these brass nuts. These hold the handle onto the saw plate, and they have a very thin slot, very thin. A regular screwdriver just won't fit in there. It's too narrow and it's too thick. And if you're not careful, you can do this. This is one that someone apparently tried to take off with a screwdriver that did not fit that slot. So I made this a while back, and it fits right inside that slot. But I don't like it because it's too short and the bit is too long. And over time, you can actually bend this bit because it's so thin. So I made this new and improved version. It has a handle that's 1 inch longer and a bit that's about half the height. And it fits in there perfect. Just like that. It makes taking this handle off a lot easier. So today I'm going to show you how I make this from scratch. For the handle, I'm going to use this piece of black cherry. But any hardwood would make a good handle. And for the bit, I've got this old hacksaw blade that's 020 thick. And it fits right in that slot on the nuts. The ferrule I make from brass fittings. And if you watched my chip breaker screwdriver video, you can see me turn this fitting down into a ferrule on my lathe. But you could also use a PEX fitting. Now this PEX fitting's 3/4 of an inch, so the hacksaw blade's a little bit loose in there. But you could also use a piece of 1/2 inch copper pipe if you don't mind the look of a copper ferrule. So the first thing I want to do is I want to turn this down on my lathe. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to turn this square block into a round cylinder. And I want it to be about 1 inch and 5/16 thick. So when I turn these, I basically freehand them. I do have some basic points to tell me the length, where to start the ferrule, the high and the low spots, but each one is basically done freehand, one at a time, which makes each one a little bit unique to the other. The first thing I want to do is I want to get the stud for the ferrule turned down, and then I'm going to put the ferrule on there, and then begin to shape the handle. And once I get the shape I want, a little bit of sandpaper to clean it up. And then I'll trim off the excess on my bandsaw. Next, I want to cut the slot that hacksaw blade will fit into. And because of the unique shape of the handle, I can't use the normal jig that I would use for like my chip breaker screwdriver. So I made another jig, and I hate making jigs. But once you get one set up like you want it, they are handy. And this one allows me to cut that slot in the same spot every time. All I do is put it on the bandsaw and cut the slot. Centered every time. And a test fit to see if the hacksaw blade fits in there. And it's a perfect fit. Now I'm not going to leave it this long. I'm going to have to cut that sucker off. So we'll do that next. Now I said I was going to cut it off, but really I'm going to break it off. Hacksaw blade's pretty easy to break. So all I do is put it in this old vise, twist it a couple times, and bam, it cuts. I want these about 1 inch long to start. Now I've got the teeth on the end of it, and I want to remove that. So all I do is put it on my disc sander and just remove the teeth. I don't want to go any further than that. And that will work. Now, I don't want to leave that gray paint on there either, so I'm going to sand all that gray paint off. It doesn't take long with some 220 and a little bit of patience. When I turn the handle, I turn the boss for the ferrule a little bit longer. So I need to cut that off. And all I do is set the ferrule on there and mark it with a Sharpie. Then I'll take it over to my bandsaw and cut that off. So after I cut that out on the bandsaw, I was taking a sip of my coffee and I remembered I had this old Diston medallion with a broken stud on the back, so it can't be used. And since I don't throw anything away, I've just always kind of kept it. But I'm going to find a way to incorporate that medallion into this nut driver. I need this medallion to be 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and right now it's a little bit over that. So I'm going to put it in my lathe and try to turn it down to get it 3/4 of an inch. But I want it to be centered. I don't want it to look like it's off center. And when I started this, I was having some troubles. So it took me about 15 minutes, and I finally got it centered in the chuck and was able to turn it down to exactly 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to put this medallion on the end of the handle. And to do that, I've got to set this thing in my drill press and drill a 3/4 inch hole on the end of it with a Forstner bit to allow that medallion to sit in there. And since it has that stud, I'm going to drill a hole for that too. And the test fit to see how it's going to look, and I like the look of that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this handle with some lacquer. Takes about 3 light coats. I don't want a whole lot on it. I still like to see that wood grain. I don't want it to look super polished. And while that's drying, I'm going to take the medallion and clean it up a little bit. I don't want to polish this thing. I just want to be able to read it and leave some of that patina. To do this, I'm going to use 4/0 steel wool and just lightly kind of go over it, just to highlight the letters. I still want it to have that patina in there, just a little bit. So I let the handle dry for about 2 or 3 hours, and I'm liking that color. So it's time to do some epoxying. First, I want to put the medallion in place. And I've learned if you put too much epoxy in there, especially if it's a tight fit, it'll act kind of like a piston and want to push itself back out. So it doesn't take much epoxy to set these in there. And then I'll just wipe off any excess that bleeds out the top. Next, I want to set the ferrule and the bit. And you want to make sure you get plenty of epoxy inside that slot. And then spin that ferrule on there. That ensures that it seats well. Push the bit all the way in, and then wipe off the excess. Now I cut the stud for that ferrule a little bit shallower than the ferrule. And that allows me to fill the top of that with epoxy. And all I do is dip some on a popsicle stick and make sure that it's all the way to the top. And then wipe off the excess. And I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours before I start messing with it. Due to the miracle of video editing, it's already the next day, and the epoxy has cured. So the next thing I want to do is I want to trim off the excess on top of that ferrule. And I do that with a very sharp razor knife. And all I do is cut it off. This epoxy is still a little bit soft and you can do a little bit of work with it. But it allows me to cut the excess off. And now that epoxy's flush with the top of the ferrule. And to clean the top of the ferrule, all I'm going to do is take some 600 grit sandpaper and run it over the top of it, just to smooth it out. And while I'm at it, I'm going to check the medallion and make sure nothing is sticking up. There are a few spots that are high, so all I'm going to do is take that sandpaper and knock them down. Make it nice and smooth to the touch. Next, I want to buff that handle with some 4/0 steel wool. I'm also going to hit the brass ferrule with that 4/0 steel wool as well. Next, I'm going to go over the whole thing with a light coat of paste wax. And I'll let that sit about 20 minutes before I buff it. Once it's dried, cotton cloth, polish it up. Really brings out the color in that black cherry. And of course, that will darken over time. So now I've got to shape that bit. And the first one I made that bit too long and it tended to bend. And it was about a ½ inch past the ferrule. This time I want it to be about a 1/4 inch to 5/16. Shorten it up a little bit. And I'm putting a slight camber on these. Not much, just a little bit. And I'm constantly checking to make sure it's not getting hot. Now this leaves the edge of the bit a little bit rough. So I'm going to take some 220 grit sandpaper and just soften it up a little bit. So now it's time to see if this tool actually works. And to do that, I'm going to take the handle off this Jackson back saw made by Diston. The next video I make is going to be me sharpening this saw. But first I want to get the handle off. Now these Jacksons, made by Diston, but they don't say Diston anywhere on them. And these are the nuts that we've got to take off. And the first thing I do is I like to clean them out. And I don't use anything metal. Metal can actually damage those saw nuts. So I use an old toothpick to clean out the grit and dirt and whatever else is in there. And then we'll set the nut driver in there. And because that bit is almost the same width as that nut, it's easy to get it off there. Doesn't slide out or slip. And it doesn't damage the saw nut. Now sometimes these nuts are recessed a little bit into the wood over time. So you got to be careful taking them off that you don't chip some of that wood taking them off. So now that I got the nut off, I got to get the screw out. And you can damage the handle in this process. You don't want to just punch them out. So of course I made another jig to prevent the chipping of the handle when you punch those screws out. And believe me, I hate making jigs, but this one does the job well. And this one specifically is for Diston number 4 size back saws. So I simply put the saw on there, punch the screw through the hole, and it doesn't allow that wood to chip. And it doesn't damage the screw. And you can see there's no chips on that handle. And I'll do the same thing for the medallion. Now that the medallion's out, all we got to do is pull the handle off. I hope this video was helpful if you decide you want to make a nut driver if you're going to restore some back saws. The next video, I'm going to take this saw and sharpen it up and get it ready to use. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video was helpful. Please comment, like, and subscribe.